actually share live. I wanted to have a quick chat for Divine Feminine. And this battery, I'll tell you, it's never working. I'll wait for a few people to connect. I'm not going to be here long. And of course the camera is like, okay, it is. I wanted to have a chat to the feminines. Let's have, and look, it can be masculines, whoever you are in the world, you know, wherever you're at. I'm going to be going to bed in a minute. Look, I wanted to share with you some experiences. Obviously, you know, I talk about the astrology, but the only reason I really ever followed the astrology, number one, I am a psychic medium. I don't need the astrology, but through my ascension symptoms, I physically wanted to look at it, just so we could understand it. And the one thing that I'm getting coming through with the collective, and I mean, we're also very disillusioned. We're also very like, where are we going? What are we doing? And I wanted to discuss that just for a little bit. I mean, you know, look back to January, okay? Look back to January. A lot of us were feeling really overburdened. We were feeling overwhelmed. This is deemed as the Divine Feminine's year. It's not feeling like it. We're like, shit, it's not feeling like it. But it has been super challenging because the one thing that has been coming up, which has really been going on for centuries, really, it's been this juggling that we've been doing, which has really been being a masculine and a feminine. And I do feel at times we're super critical on ourselves. And at the moment, with all this Aquarius Leo energy coming through, we're sort of jumping into the polarity of psychoanalyzing everything and really being really super critical on ourselves, wanting to shine bright like a diamond, but maybe feeling our gloss and our glim, you know, it's all shined off, so to speak. And it's because we're feeling particularly tired. So we feel we're not shining as bright as we should, and we're feeling very unmotivated and, you know, disillusioned by the future moving forward. And I want you guys to understand it is collective consciousness. It's also an aspect of it through your ascension. You know, you do outgrow it. I'll say you outgrow it and you just go, you know what, I'm going to deem this day as a real crappy day. I'm going to deem it as things are going down. And look, even if you were to look at the astrology for the Lionsgate portal, you know, a lot of people have been saying, when is it going to get better? And it is going to get better, but it is always to do in a spiritual realm. We deem this pocket of time moving into the Lionsgate portal and August as the awakening. So because Aquarius is crown chakra, we all collectively are waking up. And some of those things we're sensing and seeing, they're making us feel very disillusioned, very disconnected, almost like, you know, how do we move through the matrix of this? For some of us it's house, for some of us it's twin, some of us it's trying to balance things to do with family, and again it's tribe mentality. So, you know, with a lot of things that we do see on media, we have to be careful because the North Node's there, but the one thing that is supposed to really benefit us that we did move through, you know, during the full moon in Aquarius was the South Node, and the South Node's in Sagittarius, and that's to do with spirituality. You know, Sagittarius is spirituality, but it's finding a healthy way to deal with things. And it's also okay to beat to the heart of your own drum and to get to a space that you say, do you know what, there's 99 problems right now where you stand just having a little bit of fun. And what can that mean? It can be taking your hair down. It can be getting to a point you say, do you know what, right now it's okay to admit it's not good. It's okay to admit that it doesn't look as pretty as you'd like it to. I can tell you at YILDIZ Readings 5D, it's not looking as pretty as I'd like to. And, you know, call it a day. Call it a day and say, do you know what, I'm going to, for one moment, I'm going to retire. Not me personally, but just from the problems of life, and become that liberated divine feminine. And what can that look like? It can be turning on music and getting into your vibration. Just taking a moment like you would be in a nightclub and put that headset on and listen to that music and raise your vibration. Because there's always problems, guys. We're always going to wake up and there's something that we need to deal with. There's our ascension and there's something. But the collective consciousness right now, what it's requiring is us as feminines to use music medicine, to raise the vibration and to get into the freedom that we physically do have, which is a viewpoint, right? So at the moment, the Aquarius polarity can be restrictions, and we are seeing that throughout the world. We're seeing people that are very frustrated, and we're seeing people that, You know, they're needing food, they're needing accommodation, they're frustrated, they're wanting their love, and they're wanting something to really believe in. And creation, which is Mother Nature, and it's Gaia, it's also in front of us, it's us who we are. And a lot of the twin flames, we are the anchor. We were brought here to spiritually ascend and to trigger the collective. Sometimes we don't feel so divine, and sometimes we don't understand what divine means. Divine doesn't mean that you have to have, look, we all have drama, I'll say it. But in the twin flame awakening, there is a lot of healing. And a lot of times we do feel it's never going to get better. And it really does, because you really outgrow things and you move to a space of heart-centered energy. You move to a space that you realize that we all are healing and we're all waking up. Oh, Lois. So, you know, the music medicine is really what's going to heal us right now. Can we control something outside of ourselves at the moment? Sometimes no. And it's not that it's okay, but it is that we need to feed our souls. So we need to feed our souls in vibrational ways that's going to raise our vibration. And for me, when I'm stressed, the first thing I do is my headset, from a psychic point of view, I'm telling you, I get so many psychic attacks. My twin actually, he gave me this headset years ago. It's been my best friend. It's my BFF, okay? And to irritate me, I go to bed because I get psychic energy and I feel it. What I do is I put it on. I look so Mickey Mouse, right? But he whacks it when I'm sleeping. It really irritates me. But when I need to get into my vibe, the first thing I do in the morning, I'm cleaning and I'm doing my things. I put my music on and I choose high vibe and I dance. And sometimes it's funky, I dance in the garage. So I was sitting there and I was looking at it, and even the most, you know, I did put a song up, but I didn't want to trigger anyone, which I really can't control it. And if I have, oh my God, I'm sorry. But you're most welcome, because it means it's there and I can't change that. But find a song and beat to your drum. Many times we tell ourselves 100 times over, which is, I say it all the time, false fulfilling prophecies are a waste of your energy. It's not something within your control. You're telling yourself fake stories. Sometimes it may be that you're in competition with another person. Sometimes it might be. And again, the Leo polarity is bringing this up. Am I attractive enough? Am I good enough? Do I need to be slimmer? Do I need to be better? Am I in competition with another person? And all of us as human beings are going to feel that. And we all want to shine bright like a diamond. But we are, because we're also very, very unique on the planet. I remember I was doing a bit of a channeling on Instagram, and a beautiful Patreon who is Eddie, I love Eddie to bits, we were talking about the polarity of not needing anyone, and that's really purging the codependency, and we actually do. And we had this little debate, you know, he's very spiritual. And I says, well, you know, the thing is, if everything shut down, we would need dentists. You know, if you had an abscess, you'd need a dentist. So yes, we do need people, and it's okay to need. So we do go to extremities. We go on one breath where we're thinking we've got to purge codependency and be completely our own island. And it's finding a healthy medium. It's also understanding that there has to be dark for light. We can't have one without the other. That, you know, the darkness gives us motivation to ascend to the light. It gives us purpose, it gives us meaning, it gives us empathy and compassion. And we can't eliminate it. It's part of life. Us as black sheep, if we have the resonance and we can understand, initially we are the empath in the family, but there are other people in the family that do feel that. And when we can step far enough away from the painting, we can actually look at it and we can have empathy just by seeing. A lot of times the way people talk, it is from their wounds, from their childhood. So there's always a way to view a painting, and it's not saying that it's okay and it's correct, but right now, 100% I'm telling you, over the next month, what you are going to need is music therapy. Moving to the Lionsgate portal, you know, generally in the spiritual community, we deem the Lionsgate portal as a very large energy. But to reach to that point, when you do look at it astrologically, there's a tough week. There also can be a juxtaposition of things occurring prior to that coming. But again, trust the process. You need to be in the storm, the eye of it, not of the storm. So to become part of the solution, you need to be inside, viewing all polarities so you can have solutions. I can hear my daughter. You can observe, but not to become part of the problem. So we need to keep in alignment. Aquarius is to do with groups. So I found at the beginning of the year, we had Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn. Okay, at the moment, Saturn is in Aquarius in retrograde. We also have all the Leo polarity. We're in the Virgo mind. We're, analysing things. So where we're going to get to is, it's pretty heavy. We're having 2 Aquarius moons and we're having Leo. And the shadow sign of Aquarius is Leo. So we want to be a star and we're trying to raise our vibration in the collective consciousness. And because Aquarius is crown chakra, it's related to Uranus, we are feeling anxious and tense. And it's like, it's okay to put your hands up in the air and go, look, you do care, but it's how do we deal with this? It's okay, this is pretty tense. Can we just say it's not so great? And whatever does come up, it's like, shit. I've had one of those moments. I've had my garage flood. I need to move house. I'm running a business. There's lots of things. Then you got the family things going on. So everyone at a collective level will have something. And it's like North Node and Gemini, you're juggling. You have to laugh at it. You have to have faith. You have to laugh at it. I mean, got out to the garage and it was flooded and I'm like, shit. This is great. Uranus and Taurus, it's Aquarius related, right? So we're going to have extremities and weather patterns. But, people are frustrated. They're trying to earn money. They're trying to, move forward. We don't see a solution right away. We move into agitation, the Leo, which is, it can be ego. It can be perpetrator energy. Yes, there can be warlike aspects. We don't want to become part of the problem. We want to be an observer. There's also, questions going on and lack of information. And sometimes that can be an overload of information that's coming through. It might be do we, don't we? To do with our health and well-being. And there's not one right or wrong. It's very personal, but we can personalize it in our opinion point. So it is quite intense in that element too. And it's best at the moment with Virgo aspects. And because we have Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, we need to observe right now. There's confusion with how things are run. There's confusion with new things coming through. But we are moving into a new realm. And it's a little bit like birthing pains. We've got birthing pains going on. And again, the twin flame collective, the ascension you're going through is to anchor the energy in. And like a domino effect, you will help. Like nothing really that you go through is going to be in vain. It will be for your friends. It will be for your family. It will be for the higher consciousness of the collective, but it will be a ripple effect. So directly at the moment for the collective, you will find they're waking up. They're waking up and they're feeling extremely distorted, confused, distressed. And again, the monkey mind, what does it want to do? I want to solve. I want to move into my king energy. I want to fix it. I want to project on it, control it. You can't control nature. Nature has its own ecosystem, so it's moving with the tides like Abraham Hicks, not trying to control everything because there are simple things that aren't in your control. But every day show up and decide what you're going to do, how you're going to relate to it. You can have the worst day. You can be slamming your hand in the door, you drop the milk carton on the floor and everything's going pear-shaped. And again, it's a decision with every way we relate to it. Did that occurrence help you from maybe avoiding a car accident? Who knows? It's like, it's glass half full, glass half empty. Crap happens to people every day. Raise your vibration at the minute. Don't have too much expectation. Understand we're going through a portal. But where you can, if you're having a really crappy day, shift that polarity. Shift it to a point. You can go and put some music on, grab your headset and dance. Do something to raise it and say, I'm giving it no permission. I won't give it permission. Even if you are tuning into your twin flame connection and you are saying to yourself, gee, somebody is better than me. Not true. Not a competition. That you are not worthy. Not true. Move into alignment. You are worthy. There are hundreds of people on the planet that like different people, different shapes, sizes, colors. It's not true. Don't tell yourself false fulfilling prophecies. Raise your vibration. Keep present in the moment. And don't allow it to define you. If you're getting stressed, because look, I'm telling you, divine feminines and masculines, whoever you are, sometimes we're doing everything. The energy that we had of Capricorn, we had decades of Capricorn, right? It was hard. It was very earthbound frequency. It was very stifling. For the earth signs moving into the air sign energy, it's going to be tough too. But we will learn to become very spiritual, but more in a detached, intuitive, present moment. And that's not natural to us collectively because we like to have a surety, but surety is codependence. And it's also not getting on the Ferris wheel ride and going, hey, today I want to go on the merry-go-round and tomorrow I want to go on the horse. We're having a ride of our life and it's a different polarity. It feels awkward and scary, but it's just a different experience. We're not eating ice cream every day. We're eating maybe vegetarian. And then we're having steak for some of us. You know, and that may change too. Whatever it be, whatever's working for you. But just don't get too fixated and everything's got to be permanent. Raising your vibration. Come and join us for the Ascension Party. Now, if you're triggered, go and listen to the previous meditation video. Go to sleep with it. Then even at the Lionsgate portal, if you've got work to do, book a coaching session. Get grounded. Move into a present moment. Then you can look at that video. That video is to raise your vibration and to be present in the moment. It's getting into a high vibe. But if you're agitated, high vibe is not for you. You need to get grounded before you can ascend. Because we can't take baggage with us. Does that make sense? But music's your therapy. I'll put a community post up. You know, Shakira talks in the song about dancing to her own beat. That she's had an epiphany that she realizes. You know, she's talking about a relationship. That in order for us to have a good connection, we really need to love ourselves and to be okay with if we need to step away from something just for a minute. Trust the process that heals too. You know, we have so much conditioning that we feel if we play chess and we play it incorrectly, we're going to lose everything. And it's not true. It's conditioning. It is very much what we were taught from our parents. And a lot of those polarities in this day and age simply don't work. A lot of people married and they stayed together even if they hated each other's guts. A lot of people did marry and were very, very happy. This is a different time. We are coming to connections. Non-codependent, we have enough shit and baggage ourselves. We can't bring baggage into connections. We have to own it. We have to be responsible. And we need to understand and have empathy and love for each other. And if we're going back into those connections with anger, projection, it's not going to work because they're not our parent. And that's why in a twin flame path it doesn't work. And that, you know, we were talking about, like on the webinar today, we were talking about the polarity of reaching people at their level. And that with readings, I've never approached a person and pushed my psychic energy onto them. It's always been permission-based. And it's very similar to where a person is in their journey. So a lot of times in the early stages of an ascension path, of an awakening, we tend to look at things that are telling us what we want to hear. And when we get further into the journey, we realize to achieve those things, there's spiritual work. And it's not to do with the fact that you have to earn it. It's the fact that you want to be free inside yourself. So you're not playing a part, you're in the part of the show. Because when you're playing a part in the show, you feel you don't have a right to have an emotion, a feeling, an expression. You feel that you can't act in a certain way, that you can't have a bad day, that you need to walk on eggshells, and that's not true. You outgrow it. And then, like the tower, it falls down, and you fear that that is forever. Nothing's forever. I was also saying how with Leo, At the moment, this is the one thing we really need to look at, as with the sun. The sun never retrogrades. Never retrogrades. Priestess gorgeous. I giggle. The sun always moves forward. It has no choice. It has to shine. So with us inside ourselves, it is a dog-eat-dog world, but we don't have to be vicious. Knowing that we have our cooking, cleaning, washing obligations, whoever we are, gives us purpose, and that helps us survive. So yes, you always need that as your compass. If we were to have a man or a woman as an island and that purpose reached its course, we wouldn't move on. We wouldn't move forward. We wouldn't believe in ourselves. So it's so very important to have that natural compass towards yourself, that you say, I have purpose every day. I have a reason to wake up. It might be for my mum. It might be for my sister, but there's got to be something inside yourself. And if there's not, it becomes all very disillusioning, because we're seeking those things inside of other people. But it's the biggest blessing to actually realise we can have our cake and eat it too, and it's not in a toxic fashion. You can have a career, you can be a mother, you can be a partner and have all those things. But like the Cinderella effect, it's got to fit. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't mean it's not happening. It means it's not ripe yet. And if it is, it's coming. But the self-worth and the healthy boundaries, it's almost like you can't fake it for a relationship. So twin flames will trigger each other. You can never not be authentic. And then when we get to the poker face stage of journey, we're scared that the other person can't reciprocate. And when you move beyond the point of lying and you realise you can actually love someone and not have the fear of rejection, because you can say, I love you free of charge. I love you because I love you. It's a feeling. Attachment. You know, I had a twin the other day turn around and say that they had people around them that were judging. And it's, you know, I've been there before. But the thing is, when you know to the core how you feel, and you don't need the tag, be it it's twin, soulmate, you're a karmic, it's just, it is. When you can acknowledge that inside yourself without an excuse, and you can say, this person perhaps isn't perfect, but I'm definitely not perfect. You still have to take accountability and say, okay, where I am right now, I don't feel that resume of what's going on resonates with me. So I'm just going to sit up here at the minute until that story has evolved. And you still can love them. It's not a crime. You know, we have these polarities where it's like, they're bad, and it's like, what a crock of shit. If someone's bad, they're bad, but that's them doing that to them. If you're owning it and dancing with it, you're choosing to become part of that story. Now, sometimes these things do happen, and we didn't know it was happening. And then we form a bad relationship with our intuition. And, you know, don't. It's a stage of healing. You're listening and you're working, okay? So there's a lot of psychoanalytical energy going on at the moment. There's a lot of things we want something different. I would say in over the 20-something years of my twin flame path, you know, I never questioned it. I can't say really to the core. If anyone tried to convince me otherwise, it may have been permission-based at a time because I was in victim consciousness, but never in a million years did I ever disbelieve in the connection. And I didn't have the tag. So I feel that's a relevancy of knowing yourself. And it's also not needing permission to choose who to love like we're children. We're not children. We're adults. I don't need to be told who I do and don't love. And if I do love that person, it's not because of what they gave me. It's a feeling. You know, it's not, how do I put it? You can have a parent that dies and goes to the other side. Does that mean because they're not here we won't love them? No. Then why on earth in this planet, if somebody shaded you or hurt you, you can't have love and compassion? It's fear that does that. It's resent that does that. It's control that does that. It's got nothing to do with love. And that's why the work's so very important. And it does take a lot of time to get there. You know, and when you do try to explain that to someone, you can't explain it because it's something they have to live in. It's something they've got to move beyond in that 7 stages of healing. That once you get to that, it's so very freeing, because the thing is, once the wound is there, it's there. And it's sort of like, here you go. This is yours to carry now. And once you're carrying that, it's permission-based, okay? So it's like hell was put inside you with an emotion, and it's there, and you're repeating the story in your head. You're moving through it. And it's a host now, but you're the hotel, and you're saying, I now need to work out how to get you out of here. I've got to evict you. Now, I can't get rid of you permanently because the memory will be there, but I need to diffuse the memory enough that you can become not a haunting, but an occupant. A part of me, but not the whole story. So when that happens, the work that you do on it, the purpose isn't to forget what happened, nor that it was right or wrong. It's so that you don't have to live in Hades for the rest of your life, sabotaging everything you move towards, be it's your twin, another person, your family, your career. It becomes a plague inside your life. So by you doing the work, it's your commitment on yourself that you want to resolve and baste the wound to a point it won't define you. And then, like I say, the ego, the pain body experience, puts coatings and pacifiers on it. So a pacifier, in a sense, is I touched the stove, I burnt my hand. Now, I'm never going to touch a stove again. You're going to go vegan, you know, carrots out of the garden. You can if you want. But at some point, somebody may need you to maybe heat a baby's bottle up or do something like that. And you're going to have to address that wound. So the avoidance inevitably is a non-productive way of dealing with it. Because if you could challenge that, you could have been the best chef in the world. And you could have taught other people how to do that effectively. Do you get what I'm saying? So we can't avoid these things. Once they're inside us, we need to work out how to diffuse them. Because it's permission-based once it's there. It's like, hell, right, I had some shitty things happen. Now they're there. What the hell am I going to do about it? And each day you'll look at it. Something will come up. You know, I had something the other day. One word, candle. I was like, bitch. Candle. Took me way back. Giggle knows what it is. I was like, those tacky candles, bitch. I had to calm my farm, and I went, I'm here right now. I'm not in the past. Thanks, Sentinel. I'm here. What do I have right now? I've got a roof. I've got my twin. I'm not codependent. I focus on my job. I have respect from him. I have love from him. What more can I need? The past was shit, but it got me to where I am today. Doesn't define me. Crappy memory. Goodbye. You've got to get to that point you can do that. Because if you can't be here right now and you're living in the past, you might as well be in Hades. Because when we regress back, guys, what we're doing is we're trying to make sense of it. Now, the reason we do it so much is so that we can get it to the point that it doesn't define us, so we can physically be. Now, if it keeps coming up, it's almost like when it comes up and it's an old wound, you literally need to then give it a time frame. It's like, right, wound, I'm giving you 10 minutes. I will look at you and go into my feelings, and then I go, I don't have time for this right now. I have other things to do. I'm here right now, and I'm safe. You go through your checklist. I've got my roof. I've got my food. I've got my sanity. I'm checking myself. I'm not perfect. I'm moving forward. Now, if you were to continue doing that, how then, if any connection came into your life, would you be present? You would be back here. Then if you talk to your twin, you're not here in the brand new chapter. You're here talking about the past, which means how do you move forward? Which is why we have to do the work. So we can be looking at readings and say, have they worked it out yet? A lot of times, if you look at Abraham Hicks and you purely understand the element of manifestation, it's all energy. Anything I would think, I would manifest. Now, when I felt blocked or having an attachment, I'll give you an example. Where am I going to live? Universe has a story for me. It's what it's meant to be. I trust the process. As soon as I let go, moves, moves, moves. With your twin, if you are thinking about another person and you haven't come to terms with it and you're saying, it would have been safer if I was with them, that's the block. And so technically, when a masculine and a feminine are in separation, one party will have a person, the other party won't. And sometimes both parties will have someone because we're taking a role on in the journey to reach closure, connected to something, to understand something. Now, if it was also very beautiful and perfect, we wouldn't be questioning it. So the one thing we'd have to do if we're in a karmic relationship or a soulmate energy, if we're still checking another energy, it means we have to understand we are not happy. And it's going to keep eating us till we accept it. Because we go into their monkey mind and we're trying to be something we're not. Now, if we can do the work and there's things that we can do to actually break down that process inside that soulmate connection, we can work on it. But if it still comes up and it's not working, we are simply delaying the inevitable, or we're aware that we are in love with someone else and we are choosing to live in something that feels safe. And that's not that you're bad. It's just where you are. I was there. Betrayals. We've all, one of us has done it. Is it right? Is it wrong? I say nothing to it. It's an experience. The experience you go through can create karma. Yes, I created karma in my twin flame connection. And I learned it, and then it happened to me 10 years in a row. So does it come back? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. As we do onto others, comes back to us. And we learn, and then we care for people. So with what we do with our body, our aura, our demeanor, we ascend and we look at things differently, because why hurt people hurt people? And sometimes there can be circumstances that happen that are purely pushing us into those circumstances. Where we are in the collective at the moment is we're at a T-section in the road, and it's a major T-section in the road, guys. So we have some choices to make. We need to raise our vibration. We always, from this point forward, need to look at what we have within our control. So what can we do within our control? Is it a sentence? Is it, well, they hurt me, so I'm not calling them? Ego. Waste of energy. We have more than one life, but we're here at this point. Are you wasting time? Potentially. Due to ego? Potentially. So it's use your time wisely. I had to ask myself, I asked myself through my separation, do I feel I have done enough for my twin flame connection? I was like, no. And I must have been clinically insane, might I add. But we're best friends. Best friends. Drive me fucking insane. Best friends. But you have to be honest to yourself. When you're seeking outside yourself, you go and talk to a lot of friends. Don't be talking and talking and talking. Accept how you feel. Honor how you feel. Okay? If you're mad, it ain't moving. You got work to do. Let it go. Look at it. Look at their side. Step back from the painting. Do the mirror work. Part of the astrology is part of the ascension and movement. And sometimes when it's meant to come right, it's meant to come right. A lot of times what we talk is big, and that's earlier on in the piece. And then if you were directly in front of that person, it's polar opposite. You Play-Doh. You Play-Doh. Spiritual connections are spiritual connections. But you will be able to, it teaches you in the cosmic connection That initially you loved that person more than life itself. Initially you loved that person more than yourself. To the point it almost killed you. Then you found yourself. You rose from the ashes, you get back up, and you're like, wow, what did I do that? And yeah, you might go into little ways you could actually protect yourself. Is it with your career? Is it with your healthy boundaries? Is it with how much you give? Once you've given, you can never get it back. Accept that. Let that part go. Is it the heart? Is it money? It's done. Accept it. Where you are today is what counts. Even karmic energies have a polarity inside a connection. They get you to where you are. You chose them. Sucks. It's true. Your cosmic connection, you technically learn in separation how to be married. What do they say in traditional marriage? Till death do we part, for better or worse. Well, you're getting the better or worse, guys, right? So, when you go so far, can twins connect with other people? Yes, they can. If you so choose to, and you reach soul closure, when you reach union with self, you can then choose to be with another person. But if you're constantly thinking about it, you're absolutely wasting your time because it's going to contaminate you. Control doesn't help. More release, more go with the flow, more Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks is, what is your vibration? Is your vibration right now, if your twin came back or something happened, would you be okay with that? Are you ready? And it doesn't mean you have to be clear to a point that there's no problem. Lie, fallacy. But yes, you do need to be open enough that you can be open to the experience. You also will be tested. And the testing point and the biggest thing for divine feminines to learn is that you can't do everything. You're not meant to. You never were meant to. You were never meant to be perfect. You were never meant to enable. They don't tolerate it. You were never meant to enable. You will have scenarios where you have to say, I can't do that. Because once you ascend and your soul moves to a level, your soul won't let you. Ask Priestess Gorgeous. Gratitude. Will you be grateful? Yes. Because you will realize the fallacy of your belief systems. You will realize the ego and the matrix you were living in. And you'll probably laugh. Yep. You will laugh. You'll feel like if this was your last supper, it'd be fine. You will get to that. Everything you go through is for you, for your future, and to ascend you. And it's so liberating. Different person, right? Will it be busy? Right now, yes. If you think right now you're tired and you have nothing left to give, you know, the twin flame journey, man, it sucks. Right when you think your heart can't expand, it can expand bigger. Right when you think you can't go on any further, another mountain shows up and you're heck shit. Yes, you can. The one thing I can say is when you move through adversity in the connection and you go, I can't. You can and you do. I don't know why, it just happens. And after, because you have so many hurdles in a very dense pocket, after the fact, you realize you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything. And it has prepared us for the next 3 years. The next 3 years are going to be very important, pivotal places. Very big. Twins will be needed. So, be still in reverse. No. Nope. Get triggered, come back to this moment, level up. Get up, dust yourself off, keep going. Have feelings. It's okay to have feelings. Get mad. It's okay to get mad. Breathe. Trust your guides. Trust your guides. They're going to take you where you need to be. As we say, everything's in divine order. But I'll give you an example. Sometimes when we want to quit inside our lives, we don't understand the adversity is for the foundation. It could be that suddenly your twin wants to come towards you and they don't have a house, but they're all in alignment. It can be that the purpose for your child or for something else or a business endeavor or family is requiring you to do something for the future. You have to trust that. So, being still. If you sit too long, you will think too much. Productivity. Meditate when need be. Move into energy when need be. Yep, there you go. You have to know when to move and when to stop. When to move and when to stop. Now, Aquarius is tribe. And at the minute, a lot of movement with tribe. That's with your family, your mother, your father, your sisters. A lot of subjects to do with Sagittarius coming up. Motivation, look at the Olympics. Support them. You are going to have the freedom to be you. The one thing is, between the polarity of Leo and Aquarius, you need to find a healthy balance. There can be inequalities at the minute. Imbalances. Rebellion. Don't want to do this. It's not working. It's too much. Some of these polarities were extremities. Some of it was conditioning. I have to do this. I have to do that. Some of it is required at the moment that we have to work together. I do feel the Lionsgate portal is like the Fool card in Tarot, limitless. There's infinite ways it can go. It's your choice. How you show up to that table is your choice, but you've got to get in the vortex. So yes, there can be some triggers moving into the Lionsgate portal. It is ascending, it's moving. But whatever comes, whatever, if it's a tower or something like that, guess what? You got lots of rubble to make a great foundation. Trust what goes. That was the biggest lesson I learned so far in my life, is that when things broke down, they ended up turning out 100% better than my thought had provoked in an outcome. And I laughed at myself. I was like, are you serious? I've been trying to work this out. And when I've gone, universe, take the wheel, it has 100% turned out better than I thought. So it is very Abraham Hicks, get into the vortex. But you've got to choose your channel. Now, if you're picking a crappy channel, you're limiting it. Transformation in reverse. As soon as you don't like that channel, and for the life of me, I don't know why it's gone that colour. Probably because I had the green there. Look at that. Trippy. This is actually really spooky. Do you know what I feel like? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Instant tan. No, I've got to give you... Let's see if I can change it now with this. Oh, great. Bloompa. Magic. Get into your vortex, I'm telling you. It must be a colour lens. Magic. At least you know I've got a sense of humour. So, vortex is important. If you channel something and you do not like that thought you're having, please think of something else. The mind is such a strong energy. You do not understand. And with the sun there, it's amplifying it. With harsh energy and the collective consciousness being triggered, ooh, be careful what you're manifesting. This is a huge octane for the whole month. It's very, very psychic. Please do it properly. Don't do it negatively. Don't do it with anger. Be patient. Allow the fruit to be ripe. If you're pulling that fruit prematurely, you can't complain if it's sour. Another thing I will say is at the minute, for the next week, be cautious of your surroundings. Some of the aspects are a little bit malefic, 28th especially. Be mindful of your surroundings. So don't move into fights, disputes. Be aware of your surroundings. Eat food groups to support your nervous system. Don't believe this is forever. Be productive with your time. What you are doing right now in a sacrificial point of view, be frugal. Use your energy correctly. That you are building for 2022 for your stability. And also, you know, if you do have an ability to grow vegetables and do things to that degree, do those things. But eat healthy. Now, when you're preparing your food at the moment, make sure the environment is clean. Because this is Scorpio aspects, we can get tummy bugs. Sick. Yucky. Germs. Okay? PPE. Look after your intestines, your gut health and all of that. Look after yourself for the next week. Any questions? Before I hit the road and go to bed? Twin's waiting for me. He's like, come on, babe, hurry up. So I decided to dance on the veranda. Yeah, good time to do cleansing. At the moment, especially because a lot of you will be really purging. So you'll find you're going to get really dehydrated at the minute. You're going to be going to the powder room a lot. Your cycles are going to be extremely heavy. For those of you that are females, obviously, we'll keep it like classy. Purgatory experiences can be coming up big time. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Yeah, man. I'm waking up. It's like, look, I did have vegetarian and I did have anchovies on a pizza the other day. But look, I felt like a camel. I am sorry. Before I even started on that, I do recall ordering a pizza one time. It was vegetarian without cheese, and Twin laughed at me. He's like, that's not pizza. I went, it's healthy. He has actually made me a vegetarian pizza. How romantic, right? Yeah. His mother was vegetarian, so we had that in common. He still tries to compete with me. He believes his lasagna was better than mine, but I go with it. Whatever. I've been using... Yeah. At the moment, it'll be a lot of nervous system. It'll be our nervous system. A lot of you can be experiencing panic attacks. A lot of you can be experiencing like peaks of agitation and groundedness. Third eye is very active, and that's due to the Leo energy. It's Aries and Chiron's retrograde, so wounds are coming up. Some of us, if we're trying to heal, it can take a little bit longer at the minute because Aries and Chiron is retrograde. And we've got Virgo aspects there. So, you know, really practicing good hygiene, looking after your nutrition, getting enough rest, drinking enough fluid, doing things that are really going to serve you at the minute with the guided meditation. But definitely if you've got something you can do to really raise your vibration. You know, if you've been running about all day and you've been doing everything for everyone and everything. Stop, you know, and just get 5 for yourself. You know, put the music on, be in the moment. Let some of that off. Shake it off and connect, you know, to your own personal co-creative energy, because the cup's going to start getting empty and you really need to keep that recharged. But the dehydration, yeah. Yeah, it is. So, you know, avoid the sort of things that have, like, how do I put it, preservatives and things like that. Reduce it as much as possible. The one thing you can do is really cleanse the house. If their bedroom's a position where their feet are facing a mirror, it's going to cause agitation for them. And also, like an hour before bed, turn the TV off. Connect in. It's almost like we do that thing. It's like, okay, we're going to wind the radio down. You know, you can really wind that radio down with them. And you can place crystals in their room. But yeah, just keep them really steering clear of the preservatives. Certain zodiac signs of children can be very agitated at the minute. That can be Aquarians at the minute. Leo. What are the ones? All of them will. What zodiac are your kids still? Capricorn. Yeah. It's because we had the, because Pluto's retrograding at the moment on the, you know, between now and the Lionsgate portal, we have an aspect where certain placements are on the head of Leo. Now, it's very Mars-Scorpio in energy. And with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, for Capricorns, it's happening to them. So their agitation and nervous system, it can feel like everything's falling down. They can feel very disorientated. Plus, because we have the new moon in Cancer, together new energy with our connections, you know, we've got to move into the old. Plus, they've got Capricorns at the minute. Let me have a look. Virgo's hitting their 9th house. So, yeah, lots of things relating to beliefs and values. They can be very opinionated if they're young tots, you know. What other thing can I pick up? Where's the 6th house? Yeah, and we had the eclipse in Gemini, but I'd say it's more to do with the Mars energy and the Scorpio. So it's just agitational. Agitational. It will more be the nervous system. But it's what they eat. Be careful with what they eat, because Aquarius lands in the 2nd house and that's what you ingest. So if they're getting a bit mouthy with you, this is more the kitty taunts. You know, not that this, you know, I wouldn't, as a parent, I'll tell you, and you can do with what you want with it. But yeah, certain kids will be. Yeah, the adults are going to deal with it differently. The adults at the moment are gaining self-esteem, and it can be really having to create healthy boundaries, having to talk to a lot of people on the phone, you know, for Capricorn. Okay, who am I answering questions to? I have been journaling, burning, and releasing. Yeah. What zodiac are you, Dale? I'll look at your chart for the safest aspects. Look, because we're having Jupiter move back into Aquarius, the movement's pretty much going to be stifled to about the end of the year. If you can, it's within your ability, within the country, it's doable. But I would probably say for the next month, it's going to be very hard. I would probably leave it to next September sort of thing, to the September energy, then in August. Because we have that Virgo aspect, it can be things where it's going to restrict us from moving around. And there's uncertainty surrounding that. And I think, you know, a lot of people are having a lot of issues trying to find homes due to the fact we had the Cancer Capricorn energy coming through with the moons. And again, with Taurus, I would say if you were going to do it, you probably should wait till September. But I'll check your chart. I can check where it's aspected. There are quite a few zodiacs at the moment that have movement. As long as it's not your running. If you're not running, that's different. Take the steps, get things prepared. Yeah, as long as you're not avoiding your emotions. Gemini. He doesn't want a divorce. You can still apply for the divorce regardless of whether he wants it. Yeah. You can still apply for it. Gemini at the minute. Fourth house. Yeah, it's coming up right now because you have Virgo transiting your fourth house. Your portal between now and next month's open. If you are feeling it, do it. Again, you know, with the seventh house, it's coming to a head. The funny thing is, after the full moon in Aquarius, it was really asking us to move towards Sagittarius, which at the moment Sagittarius is your relationship sector, and it can be an honest, earnest conversation about the future. You know, if they don't budge, just, you know, it will be, this energy at the moment is us standing our ground. Obviously not on a pig-headed mode, but very direct and to the point so that you can free yourself, be your authentic self, and then move beyond. But it is showing in your chart that, yes, there can be movement because you're transforming and changing. So, yes, as long as you're not running and you're owning it, it will bode well. I'll just answer the ones that are up at the moment. Yeah, it's because of COVID. Yeah, mine took a bit of time to get mine done. Yeah, we'll just move. I mean, it's there, and this is one of those months, if you are in a toxic environment, you better get the hell out because it's going to get a little bit mean. And it isn't one of those things that you want to hang around for. So if, you know, any of you are in a polarity like that, pre-warned. Should I move out of the state? Well, you don't have to move out of the state. You can move. But, I mean, if you do want to go closer to family, you can. Virgo, yeah, think about it. You could be... Look at the paperwork. Make sure your paperwork's in order. I would say take documents with you. But, again, I can't legally advise you. But, yeah, Virgo can be to do with paperwork and analytics, but it's also home. But, yes, there can be movement in home. Is there anyone else I missed? Sorry if I'm bouncing you around. I was only coming up here for 5 minutes and I talk too much. Journaling and burning and Cancer rising. Oh, gee. Yeah. Antonella. Let's see. What does it say? Have you guys communicated yet? 2 cards come out for you. What's that about? Something to do with your healing. I think they're going to pretty much keep it professional at the minute. They're a bit worried. They're worried about you. That's what they're saying. But they don't want to come across as bossy. So they're kind of keeping their distance at the minute. Yeah, they're sort of like, I'm not your parent. I can't tell you what to do. They do have advice for you, though. But they're trying to actually look at it in the healthiest way that they can articulate it to you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I seriously have to turn this heater off. It's cooking me. Still fighting it at the minute. Got mirrored soul in reverse. It's like still fighting it, but confused. Worried about you, concerned about your living, you know, how you're doing, how you're going, but obviously sort of looking at it, but fighting it a little bit. Who did I miss? Did I miss anyone that had the super chat? I did Antonella's, Salone. There's a little bit of anxiousness around you, but there's something new that's coming. What's this new thing that you're doing at the minute? Force alone. I feel something new. There's something new that you're looking at, but I'm also feeling you're keeping a lot to yourself. But you have some major ideas, but there's a person around you you're being a little bit like wary about. You're sort of like really pushing it back. Why am I picking? Okay, I'm seeing a little kid. Who's this kid? I'm seeing a little boy. More work-wise, yeah. Especially for 2022. Just be really careful. Being a tiger, yeah. Keep your energy to your son. So does he have dark brown hair? Because I'm seeing a little boy. He looks about 7. But again, I can get ages different, you know. I'm gauging here. He's a cutie. What are you worried about, with him? He's very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. He's a bit of a seer. I love his hair. Oh, he's got gorgeous hair. So silky. But he is very intuitive. He's watching you at the moment. Stomach's been hurting him. He's very intuitive. He picks up on things. Okay. Okay, who was unwell? Is there an anniversary around you at the moment? They're rushing through these channelings for you. Okay, number one, they're saying basement. They're saying somebody had cancer. And they're saying this person was close by to the family, a family member, and this person feels energy. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because they're saying basement. I don't know why they're showing me basement now. It's late. Do you know who I'm talking about? Could be a friend, could be someone they've been around. The thing is, children bring energy home. So sometimes it can be somebody that you've been around and they bring the energy tags onto them. What you might need to do is actually put some psychic crystals in his room. Okay, did they have, were they like, what are they showing me? Hairy face. Santa Claus, hairy face. Now, your kid's funny. Was it similar? Because I'm picking that he's picking something up that a relative had. Is it close to is it your father's birthday? Because generally speaking, when a person is channeling and a person is exhibiting energy, it can be that they're channeling because it's close to a birthday, close to an anniversary of a person's passing. And that doesn't have to be theirs. It could be like a mother's, a father's, a grandfather's, and a link. But there's something where your child has a connection to energy. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So, why are they making reference to the house? What needs to be sorted with the house? They're showing me old house, unfinished business. They're showing me a chair. And there's also a reason he's coming in. Yeah, the basement. It was these stairs they were showing me, and I don't know why they're making reference to it. You got to be careful where your son goes because he does pick up on energy. So I'd probably say get him some tourmaline or onyx and leave it for a necklace if you're, you know, up for letting your child have that. And be really wary of, how can I put it? If the energy comes into the house and he's experiencing sort of behavioural changes, let him go have a shower. Give him a bath, you know, put some bath salts in it if he's not allergic to such, but just cleanse him. So if he's getting agitated, just do that. You can put crystals in his room. And don't question what he says. Don't tell him he's crazy or anything because, you know, these things are part of all of us. It's just some people have it stronger than others. He's very, very receptive. I feel he's going to do some drawings, and the drawings are going to give you some messages. But it's something to do with that basement. Be careful with him going in that basement because he picks up on energy, and there's a lot of energy there. Any dark location, you'll find he'll channel it more. But he's very deep soul. Very deep soul. But yeah, look, never outrule the traditional from a holistic point. If he's saying it's affecting him, go and get it checked. But I do feel he is very psychic in nature. So you can wash him if he's agitated and behaviour changes. Smudge the house at least once a month. And if you need help, come through. I mean, I talk to a lot of family relating to this, and I try and get their rooms set up for their kids because it's a lifetime thing. They're stuck with it. You know what I mean? But other than that, my doll, you've got good things coming. I feel once you do that, everything's going to fall into place with your business, what you're doing. I think you're being careful who you share your information with, but there's other things that is coming, and it's like you want to be set up. And I think you're on the right track, so just trust it. Okay? I hope that's helped. I hope I haven't missed anyone. I'm going to go have a quick naughty, and then I'm going to go to bed. And I'll see you during the week, okay? I don't know, man. I think I'm back here tomorrow and I'm here early. Who knows? I was like, I've got to talk to everyone. Raise your vibration, listen to music, and detach from the negative vibration at the minute. Neptune's retrograde still, guys. We've got to be mindful. Love and light. That's okay.